What's up, gamers? What's up, everybody? Welcome once again to another podcast of eSports Michigan. This is episode 5. Lorne Plant, Andrew Blanchard, Ethan Williams, all here at the State Champs Sports Network studios, ready to talk about what's happening in this season of eSports Michigan. And we do have some news right off the bat. What's up, Andy?
Yeah, so we got, a couple sad news. So this week...
Nobody died.
Nobody died.
That's
No.
Yeah.
Austin Catholic Crusaders from the Infernal Division and the Granville Bulldogs from the Ocean Division, so Group C and Group D respectively, have both resigned from the competition this week. So what we're going to do moving forward for those two teams, we're going to remove their future games and their past games. So if you played against them, don't worry about it. It doesn't affect Group C a ton. Austin Catholic was 0-6 or something when they resigned from the competition. But Granville Bulldogs did have 3 wins. So those teams that lost to Granville Bulldogs, you'll have those losses removed. However, the teams that did beat Granville Bulldogs, because there were a few of you, you'll have those wins revoked. We're going to look at the standings and see how it affects it. We'll come back with you guys next week for some updates on that. If it affects any teams negatively as far as standings coming to LTU or not, we'll work on what we can figure out there.
So a little social commentary. That's not cool, guys.
Yeah.
Well, nobody taught you in life to be quitters. You should hang in this thing to the end. I could see Austin Catholic having a rough time of it, and they were just like, forget it. We got better things to do with our time. But Granville, you were winning. So, hey, this is just a lesson to you out there that when you start something, see it through. We're going to rebound from this. We always plan for a couple casualties of war.
Yeah.
But that is invariably what has happened. But again, do not be alarmed. Do not be dismayed. Do not be disappointed. The competition will continue, and we are still having our big tournament, and nothing is going to be different.
Yeah. So other than that, we just got.
I'm off my soapbox now.
Yeah.
Move on.
Appreciate it.
All right.
So other than that, there are a couple teams that still have a few games to make up. We're getting a lot better. Thank you guys. I appreciate your effort in the Discord server, getting the games rescheduled. A lot of you have been really on top of that. There are a couple of you guys out there that still need to really get on top of.
Right, I'm not afraid to call them out. If they got to get needled right here and tell them that they got to get their act together, let's get these games rescheduled. Who are we talking about?
So Viper in Group A.
All right, Viper's where? What school is that?
Viper is I don't have their pulled up exactly,
but those in our world here know who Viper is.
Yep.
Yeah. So and you Viper know who you are.
I've emailed out. I'm reaching out to the advisors today. But that's the big one. Just
don't make me come down there.
Yeah, he will.
So we're working on that. We're getting them through. We were having some trouble with Granville, but they've cleaned it up. But Clout9 is not in the Discord yet. I'm trying to get a hold of them, trying to get through to them. And then E-Rats, I just got to get some games going for them. But they've at least been in communication.
Okay. So. All right. So, guys, hey, remember, it's important to get these things rescheduled. We don't have that much time if you really think about it.
We got 3 weeks.
Right, exactly. Light is at the end of the tunnel.
Yep.
And LTU's on the other side of that tunnel. So, tournament's coming. We got 3 weeks. Let's get it in.
All right. So, moving aside from our general updates from the competition, everything else is going swimmingly.
All right, good.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
So we got our standings through. In the Mountain Division, Group A, we got St. Clair Saints are in first place, 6-1.
Nice.
They've played all but one of their games. They're knocking it out of the park. Below them, we got Seaholm Maples. They're 5-0. The Liquid Ninjas are 4-2. They're in fourth. Bloomfield Hills is in third. They're 4-3. Viper is 2-2. CC Shamrocks, they're 3-5. They're looking to make it into the playoffs. They're right on the outside.
That's a pretty good pool right there,
yeah.
I'd say.
So, and then, but winding down the bottom, we got Byron Center Bulldogs, Divine Child Falcons, 0-5, 0-6.
Yeah. They
need to play against each other. One of them's getting a win when they play.
There you go.
So
get that bagel off the board.
Yeah. There we go. So that's Group A. That's the Mountain Division. So in the Cloud Division, we got Troy Colts, top of the board, 7-1. This group has played all their games. They are on top of their stuff.
The defending champs.
Yeah. So Troy Colts, 7-1. They're first. We got a 3-way tie for second right now.
Nice.
Galaxy Demons, Revival, Team Stopwatch, all at 6-2. Outside looking in right now are Lake Orion and APS eSports tied for fifth place. at 3-5.
Okay.
MMST's got 1 win on the board. They're 1-7. Schoolcraft Papa Bears trying to get their first win.
All right, looking to play spoiler. Could do that.
Exactly.
Because this is so tight that somebody invariably with a winning record is going to be left out of the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, Group C, we got the Infernal Division. We're looking at Chippewa Valley Big Reds on top, 4-0. They are undefeated, but they've got 3 games to make up. Clarkson High Wolves got 4 games to make up. They're also 3-0.
All right.
They're playing against each other soon. They're working on their rematch.
Okay.
Smite's 3-2. Avocado Warriors are 3-3. Crimson Drakes are tied 3-3. That means our 4th place and our 5th place are currently tied.
Wow.
One of those teams is coming. One of them isn't.
And once those games are made up at the top of the division, because ultimately they're going to play some of those teams, you could have a full power shift.
So we're looking for it. Forest Hill Central Rangers, they're 0-3. SMT is 0-5.
Okay.
They all got some games to make up. Like I said before, Austin Catholic Crusaders sitting there at 8th place.
Yeah.
They're out of the competition for the year. So rounding out our divisions, we have Ocean Division Group D. Loyalty from Troy High on top, 4-0. De La Salle Pilots are right there too, 4-1.
Nice.
Technically speaking, because of our rules, De La Salle's on top. They've played 1 game more.
Right.
Loyalty's got to make that game up.
Yep.
So
they were solid at last year's tournament. Remember, a lot of excitement over there. They wanted to do better.
De La Salle, for
they're
sure.
Fired up.
I've got some stuff to say about them when we start wrapping this up.
All right.
But Legendary Squad's coming in at 3rd. They're 3-2. Canton Chiefs are 2-2. The rest of our teams rounding out the division: Legends of Lakeland 0-4, Clout9 0-5. But E-Rats have played 1 game. They have 1 win. I know they're working with other teams. They're getting those games scheduled.
Right.
I'm in contact with them, so they're going to be playing a couple games. They had played one of their remakes against Granville Bulldogs, but we had to take that one out. So
All right.
Granville
Wow, bummer. All right, well, let's go, E-Rats. Let's get it together. Time's wasting.
But those are our standings. Those are the teams looking on coming to LTU.
Okay.
We've got a good group of good group of teams.
I would say overall right now there is, again, a lot of parity. Teams that can beat anybody on any given day. And again, we are now working on getting video up of some of these games on our YouTube channel right now, our State Champs TV YouTube page. We have several games up there. We're going to be loading up more. And obviously this podcast now has video, so when we talk about what we're going to talk about next, which is our game of the week and then our strategy session, you'll be able to see what we're talking about. So, again, check it out. Share this podcast. If you want it to continue, it's important that we get it out there and get everybody talking about what's happening in eSports Michigan and League of Legends. So let's get to the game of the week. And, Ethan, you're handling that.
Heck yeah. So last week we highlighted that one of the games to look for coming up into last week was the Galaxy Demons versus Troy Colts game, and they did not disappoint.
Right.
The game was energetic and on fire from the get-go. It was, if I had to boil it down, it would be that one Bear Grylls meme: improvise, adapt, overcome. It was crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Yes, I'm with you.
Of course.
We have to put that visual up while you say that. So.
I hope so. It'd be glorious.
Yes.
But the Troy Colts drafted a team very, very strong in the one-on-one, two-on-one skirmish and dueling type situations with a Jax top lane and a Kha'Zix jungler and an Ezreal for their ADC. So they dominated the early game. They started rolling over the Galaxy Demons up to a record of 4-1, I believe. But recognizing this, Galaxy Demons shifted the whole paradigm. Instead of staying in lanes, as is typical, they realized that they were on the losing side of this game, and started to group together and have those almost full 5-man team fights, because that's where their team really excelled.
Right.
They had the big tank CC chain composition, and they all went down bottom lane and caught out the ADC and caught out the support and caught the jungler, and it was a turning point, and then they started to come back, and then they were ahead. And once Troy Colts realized, hey, they've changed their strategy, they're coming back, they're the powerhouse of this game now.
Right.
The Troy Colts actually shifted again into a strategy where they would group up in the jungle, away from the lanes, toward the dragon and the Rift Herald and the map objectives, and would try to lure Galaxy Demons into the team fights that they wanted.
Yeah.
But in doing that, they lead them away from the carries, the Jax top lane, the Ezreal bottom lane. They were just left alone to their own devices, to split push, accumulate gold, damage towers, and that went unanswered for too long. I think that was the choice that Galaxy Demons made, was to pursue those team fights and leave Ezreal and Jax to split push that inevitably lost them the game.
Right.
Even though they got ahead in kills, even though Galaxy Demons won those team fights, Colts were up in gold because they had their carry champions farming, collecting money, getting that advantage. And Jax is one of the strongest duelists and split pushers in the game, and if left unchecked, he will push you down like he did in this game. And for the final push, they were still very close, but Galaxy Demons finally lost a team fight to this Jax that they left topside for too long. He killed their team. Troy Colts got Baron and pushed mid for the win, and it was, wow, what a game.
I can see that you're getting very emotional.
I am a little emotional. It was, it was a visceral kind of
I understand.
the entire game.
Well, it's strategy,
Right.
and you gamble sometimes and you lose, and sometimes you pull it off. We have a cool video on our social media right now, eSports Michigan, Facebook, and Twitter, of I think a double kill that the Galaxy Demons were able to pull off against Troy during the match. So you can check that out right now. But again, Troy, the experience wins out, and again, that's great. And that's awesome. So again, that's an awesome game of the week, and you should be able to watch that on our YouTube page right now. Am I correct?
Yep.
All right, it's up there. So if you want to check it out, that's cool. So let's move into the strategy session and what you guys want to talk about this week.
Oh wow, yeah. In the same vein, actually, in the same game.
Yeah.
One of the quintessential plays that was super cool to watch and interesting from a strategy perspective.
Yeah.
And it was very well done on both teams' parts, which is rare.
Yeah.
That a play could go so well for both teams.
Right.
So right when Troy Colts decided to lure Galaxy Demons into the jungle, so they had their 4 people around the dragon to bait Galaxy Demons into thinking that Troy Colts was going for the dragon. So they came in for the team fight, but the Colts didn't want to fight. So they would just poke and back off, staying just out of range, keeping Galaxy Demons interested,
Right.
but not letting them bite too hard to let the Jax push top lane. And then Galaxy Demons realized, hey, we're being baited super hard.
This is a trap.
This is a trap. It's a trap.
Yeah.
So they,
I would have liked to have heard the commentary on that.
yeah,
As those guys are playing.
yeah. So then they sent people top lane to deal with the Jax, and Jax didn't realize that people were coming fast enough, so he got caught out. But while the Galaxy Demons sent their power top lane to deal with the split pushing Jax, they were outnumbered in Dragon, which let the Troy Colts actually take the Dragon and get the standing buff for their team, which obviously helped for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And it was just that dynamic of, this might be a trap, let's go not get trapped, and then, okay, they figured out this was a trap, let's make the most of it,
Right.
and they got Dragon, and it was...
So what's the lesson here? What's the key to luring in your opponent without having to commit and engage? To thinking you're going to fight and yet being able to pull off so that they do follow into your trap.
Well, I think it's a combination of a whole lot of things. First of all, they the Troy Colts, when I say they, have a team composition that was very it loaned itself well to that strategy of poking and backing off. Like Ezreal has a long range, short cooldown on his abilities, and mobility to get in and get out.
Okay.
And the Galaxy Demons, their whole team composition is a CC chain, team fight, all in, let's go, boys.
Got it.
So it was...
They're just warriors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Colts understood what Galaxy Demons wanted, and loaned themselves well to, making them think they could get it.
Right. Right on.
Yeah, it's building off of what we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Understanding your team compositions, what they can do, and where your win conditions are in both teams. Ethan and I were talking about it. Both teams really identified what would win them the game and what would win the other team the game,
Right.
which is that next step up. And I think
what would you say the Galaxy Demons should have done that would have turned the tide?
Oh, I think the Galaxy Demons should have had more of a presence in the late game. When they drafted their team comp, They didn't have a whole lot of late game power outside of their Caitlyn bottom lane and their Aurelia top lane, while the Troy Colts kind of edged them out once the game got past 20 minutes with Jax, Orianna, and Ezreal. Those three characters scale very, very well into the late game, and that little bit of power edge over their opponents really, really helped them clinch this game.
So they were hoping to go for the quick kill as opposed to playing the long game, which is invariably what wins you championships if you can survive. Interesting. All right, good stuff, guys. All right, so what do you got, Andy, moving forward here?
So moving forward, we're going to look at kind of what games are going to be highlighted in the next couple. I got some stuff written down here. So in the Mountain Division, Maples versus Saints, Saturday at 7:30. That game is going to be played for the top of the standings.
Nice.
Now, the Maples are down a game. They need to schedule a couple games. I'm talking to their captains, trying to get those games together. But depending on the winner of this, we'll really set up the standings for the top of the Maples or the top of the Mountain Division. If Catholic Central in the same division can win one game more than any of the other teams ahead of them, they'll move into fourth place, and they'll be in prime position to make it to LTU.
Nice.
They're playing the bottom two teams of the group, so they are in a prime position to take fourth place in the group and really move forward into making it to LTU.
Well, it's interesting. A lot of things are happening with Catholic Central right now, if you want to put it in the context of sports in general. So on the lacrosse side, for the first time since 1994, the Shamrocks beat Brother Rice. I mean, seriously, we're talking like a quarter century.
Yeah, I played. Guys. Yeah, I know. When I played for Troy Athens and we played lacrosse, that Brother Rice team was just absolutely monstrous.
Yeah, they had only lost one time to a team from the state of Michigan since like 2002. So big win for Catholic Central, biggest win in their history in lacrosse. And the CC Shambots, their robotics team, actually went all the way to the state championship game. Actually, they went to the semifinals at the state championships in robotics, which was pretty cool too.
So
anyway.
you're right. So CC as a school's got a lot going on.
Yep.
If they can pull out these two victories, which I feel like they'll probably be able to do it, and one of the teams ahead of them drops a game, they're looking to come to LTU. In the Cloud Division, Group B, Lake Orion and Adrian Public Schools are just outside of playoffs. They're sitting at 5 and 6. They're both tied for 5th place, and the other 4 teams are all sitting at the top of the standings, about 2 games apart. Lake Orion is playing 2 teams in the top of the standings. Adrian Public Schools should be able to pull out a victory versus MMST this coming week, and if they get that victory and they can pull out maybe a couple other victories during the rest of the season, we're looking at a huge upset. Seeing Adrian Public Schools or Lake Orion making it to LTU above one of these teams that have a really good winning record. Adrian Public Schools already pulled up the upset, beating Troy Colts, giving Troy Colts their only loss of the season, and Adrian Public Schools was able to give it to them.
Sweet.
So I'm looking at these two teams to really put some upset into this group. And then Galaxy Demons versus Stopwatch. They're playing at 6 o'clock on Sunday. They're playing for second place right now. Since they're tied 6-2, whoever wins this, sole possession of second place. Infernal Division, Group C. Avocado Warriors are playing Crimson Drakes 6 o'clock Thursday. And Avocado Warriors currently hold the head-to-head matchup here. So if Avocado Warriors beats Crimson Drakes in this game coming up, they will hold a head-to-head victory over Crimson Drakes, and no matter what, if they are tied, Avocado Warriors is coming to LTU. And right now they're sitting 3-3. Avocado Warriors are in 4th, Crimson Drakes are in 5th. They're one game apart. Crimson Drakes wins this game, they're looking like they can make the tournament. Our last group is Ocean. So Loyalty is looking to continue their domination against Canton Chiefs Sunday 7:30. De La Salle Pilots have another 3-game weekend. So De La Salle Pilots are making up a ton of games. They played 3 games this last week. They're playing 3 games this week. This past week for De La Salle, they were 1-1 coming into that week. They are now 4-1. They won every single game this last weekend. They're looking to do the exact same thing, win every game this weekend. I talked to the team captain of De La Salle this week, and he is looking to dominate when they come to LTU. He doesn't think anything less than domination at LTU is going to do it for their team. They were not satisfied with their third place, fourth place finish in the semifinals last year.
I remember.
They want to take it all this year. They're playing against Troy High's team, Loyalty. They want to take the crown from Troy High. Yeah. They're going to be playing in a couple weeks from now.
Who do they got this weekend? Who they matched up against?
De La Salle, they're playing on Sunday. They're playing the E-Rats twice. So they're going to be getting those games.
E-Rats making up those games, so we don't know how good they are, really.
Exactly. E-Rats are technically 1-0 right now, and they beat Granville Bulldogs. So if they can pull up some victories against the Pilots here, E-Rats is also going to be sitting pretty in the top of the standings. But De La Salle is also playing Clout 9, who is at the bottom of the standings. So that's looking like an easy victory for De La Salle. But
let's go, Clout.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Clout 9 could always upset Adrian Public Schools, upset Troy High in Group B. So,
we're all going to make mistakes. It's about not making the same mistakes. Right.
So hopefully teams can learn from this. But Pilots, Nico, their captain, he is pumped and ready to take the victory from these top of the standings teams and really cement De La Salle as the best team in Group B.
All right,
Group D.
So the trash talking is going, and that's all good. The Discord is where you go if you've got comments and things you want to do there. I don't know if it's necessarily a forum for trash talking, but it's all right it's okay to be confident.
Yeah, we've got some channels open for everybody to talk.
You can make comments on our social media. Go to the videos, make comments on those. Keep it respectful. Otherwise, we'll delete those bad boys. But you know what I'm saying. It's all good to pump up your team and be excited about what you're doing. You know what? If I won 3 in a row, I'd be fired up too. I'd be like, bring them all on. Let's go. We got this thing figured out right now. So the beauty is it's going to be a battle for the teams to get to Lawrence Tech. And what do we mean when we say get to Lawrence Tech? Well, May 19th and 20th, right? 20 and 21.
19th and
20th.
We'll get that one.
I know. We were going to have a 2-day tournament here. Top 16 teams going for it all. 2 days, intense competition. We got teams battling to get in. We got teams at the top now trying to see who is, the ultimate regular season champion and ultimately the favorite when they come here. Always nice, coming in and you've got the bullseye on your back as the team everybody wants to beat. But the beauty about group play is we don't know because you're only playing within your group, right?
Yeah.
You're not doing crossovers. So you don't know. This team may be great and killing it, but you just may be in a really tight group that's just really solid. Mm-hmm. So what I suggest you do is check out the YouTube videos, see how those other teams in these other groups are getting things done. So you're not too cocky when you come here just because you rolled through your group, if that should be the case. So again, we're fired up. We're excited. We'll talk to you next week with another episode of the eSports. Oh wait, you got one more comment?
I was gonna just for next week. Next week I want to be talking about how we're gonna set up the tournament.
Okay.
So how our team's gonna be placed, how they're gonna be put into groups.
All right.
Kind of the format. We're gonna do like a format over the next couple weeks.
That sounds good.
To make sure everybody understands what they're doing.
Exactly what's gonna go down. It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be a blast, and hopefully it's gonna be warm.
We can only
I would hope.
in
It's
Michigan,
a month
right?
from now, right? You would just
hopefully.
hope. Can we get some 70s, please? I'll even take 100s at this point.
Oh, no.
Please,
no.
Okay, sorry. Let's not throw that out there. But some 70s would be good. All right, guys, that's it. That's it for episode 5. We'll see you next week.